entire social media was associated with increased feelings of social isolation and anxiety. That's really interesting because people think that they jump on social media. We got the word social, like you're trying to be social, but it's actually creating feelings of social isolation, which is really interesting. And that, of course, leads to the anxiety. That's no good for anybody. This is the Mental Mettle Podcast, where we explore how to forge mental toughness and resilience in every aspect of life. Welcome. I'm your host, Coach Matt Thomann. I'm an ICF certified professional coach with a background as a teacher, basketball coach, and athletic director. But my journey took a dramatic turn in 2020 when I survived both cancer and a stroke. Those experiences shaped my mission, help others grow stronger in every facet of life. Today, I work with athletes, coaches, educators, and anyone who believes that positive mental health is both achievable and a personal responsibility. This podcast is dedicated to helping listeners develop a positive version of toughness, one rooted in resilience, focus, and growth. Whether you're looking to excel on the field, in the classroom, or in life, this is your space to learn, grow, and take action. Join me on this journey, and together, let's forge your mettle. Are you ready to take on the toughest opponent you've ever faced? Yourself. At Mental Mettle Coaching, I work with athletes, coaches, and professionals who are up for a challenge and ready to grow. Through individual coaching, group coaching, and professional development for schools and businesses, we'll help you build confidence, resilience, and a mindset that seeks growth. If you're serious about becoming your best, let's get started. Check out the show notes for my contact information, and together, let's forge your mettle. Let's go, metalheads. It's your host, Coach Matt Thomann, here on the Mental Mettle Podcast, and I'm excited to be here today. I had a friend of mine, a coaching friend of mine, send me a thank you note once because I helped her gain her certification, did some mentoring with her. And in that thank you note, she described me as being intentionally intentional. And I really appreciated those kind words because it meant that what I was thinking, what I was saying was coming out in the way that I was working with her, because I'm a huge fan of being intentional, or intentionally intentional. Like, I think it has to be something we do if we want to make progress. I don't believe that improvement happens on accident. And I also believe that as human beings, we really don't stay stagnant for long. We're either moving forward, making improvement through intentional actions, or we're declining. And often that decline is slow. Just little things creep in. Our daily routine deteriorates. We just don't do things like we used to because we're not as intentional as we used to be. And that's why I'm such a big fan, a proponent, a preacher of being intentional. I believe that if you want to see improvement in your life, in your relationships, in your career, in any aspect of life, you have to be intentional about your routine. You have to be intentional about your thoughts. You have to be intentional about your words. You have to be intentional about your actions. And it's a lot. I know it's a lot. We like to take a break sometimes, and it's difficult to stay that intentional, but it's also why I'm a big fan of repetition and changing our minds and working on neuroplasticity. We get to the point where if we put enough intentional action and intentional thoughts into our routine, we don't have to think about being intentional. We just do it. Okay. So it's being intentional on purpose until it doesn't have to be that intentional. I know that may or may not make sense, but trust me, it does, because we've all done things where we are intentional and becomes habit for us. Or there's also things that we're not intentional about, things that aren't good for us, and they become habit. And it, again, causes us to deteriorate a little bit. So be intentional And wanting to be intentional is kind of the basis for the Monthly Mettle challenge that I started working on. And I started working on it from the beginning, day one of 2025. And how it works, if you haven't been paying attention, you haven't listened, basically the first episode of every month, and this is the second episode of April, I know, but I had some things I needed to promote. So, but anyway, I've already been working on this April Monthly Mettle challenge. But anyway, at the beginning of every month, I get on here and I talk about an idea, an intentional practice that I want to practice for an entire month, and have that be my intention, and hopefully have it become something that becomes more of a habit and something that I do all the time. And then I want to report back to you and give you some notes on what I've noticed, see if it's worth your time, see if you want to try it. And all the tactics that I've done so far and will do, they're all proven scientifically. There's been studies on them that they're all designed or been proven to increase your emotional well-being. And anytime that you can increase your emotional well-being, it's going to help you reach goals better, more focused, more mindful, all these things. And I have other goals for my business, relationships, all these things. And I work on those too. But I wanted to be very intentional about working on the underlying emotional well-being that affects me on the daily basis. And that's the truth. Like, our emotional well-being is always there. It's always the foundation of everything we do, and gives us our motivation, our confidence, everything we need. So all these tactics that I'm doing every month are designed to help increase my emotional well-being, mental, physical, all these things. And I started with January, with gratitude, doing a very simple idea that I got from Dr. Martin Seligman, and I adopted it a little bit, but just the idea of the 3 good things a night, and making sure that you're writing down 3 gratitudes every night. And actually I did some gratitude letters and reached out to some people that have helped me in my past and just wrote them a letter, did some visits on gratitude, and that went well. I loved it. And then February, I leaned into my faith. I did a lot more biblical reading every day, and I did more praying every day. And I leaned into a couple verses. One of them that is behind me, Colossians 3:23, and began to think about whatever you do it with all your heart, as though working for the Lord. And the other one, Romans 12:2, which talks about not conforming to the world and transforming your mind, which really leads into that whole thing I'm talking about, emotional well-being. And if you can be intentional about what you're doing, you can transform your mind. And me being a religious, but also a science guy, which can kind of combat sometimes, I love that I saw the idea of neuroplasticity in the verse from Paul on Romans 12:2. It's a really cool episode. And all my stuff in February, all my podcasts were with faith-based coaching, or coaches that I talked to. And it was a really good one. And I really got a lot out of February. And then March, I haven't reported on March, but March I leaned into fasting as an emotional well-being tactic. Now, there's obviously physical aspects to it and physical benefits. March and the fasting was absolutely eye-opening. I started with a 36-hour fast, water fast, and it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. Once you get past that first meal or so, you kind of lock into it, and it was really good. I also, my plan for the month of March was to not to have any sugar, no alcohol. Might have been just a little bit of a slips, but not much. Like, really, really good. I did really, really good. And then on every day in March, I did the intermittent 16-hour fast, and then eat for 8. And my goal in that episode was to talk about how not what I wasn't getting, but what it was giving me. because fasting can make you think about what I'm not eating. I'm not getting my nutrients, and I'm not getting these things. And you start to think about those things. And many times we're thinking about something that we're not doing or trying not to do and trying not to eat. It becomes our focus, and it's really hard not to do. Instead, I focused on the gains that I hoped to see on a daily basis, on a weekly, on a monthly basis. And I really leaned into that. And it was an immediate thing for me when I would come down and write. I really focused on my writing in March. And I decided if I'm going to not eat and fast, that's supposed to make a little bit more less muddled thinking. It's supposed to give you more focus, more clarity. So I was like, that's a perfect situation for me to write. I came downstairs almost every day and worked and wrote and didn't eat. And and it was, again, eye-opening to me because I felt I wrote some of my best stuff, did some of my best work. It was really good, and I really enjoyed it. Also, physically, I felt really good. I started to feel a little bit less inflammation. My body started to feel better, and I really didn't track it. But at some point, I was like, you know what? I gotta see if I'm losing any weight. I decided I could lose a little bit, but I mean, in the 8 hours that I ate, I ate. I tried to eat healthy, of course, and I didn't eat the sugar and the alcohol, but just by limiting and doing that fasting and doing the fasting of all that I was doing in the month of March, I lost about 12 pounds. And I would say it felt like I wasn't even trying, just limited some things. And when I started to seeing the benefits from it, it is, this fasting is something I'm going to keep doing. I think as a rule, there will be days where I don't do it, but there's going to be, as a general rule, the 16-8 fast for 16, eat for 8 is going to be my norm. It is the amount of work I can get done, the amount of clarity, the amount of focus, and how good I feel. It was just off the charts. And plus, it helped me. I also tied it into biblically. I would end each fast, and I do this now, with a little bit of journaling, a little bit of gratitude, and a little bit of prayer. And so that's what I've noticed, that the three things that I've done in January, February, March, I've now combined them. And I fast every day, do some intermittent fasting. I still continue to do my biblical reading every morning. When I break my fast, I write my gratitudes, do a little bit of journaling, and then do some prayer. And they have become, my intention has become my normal daily routine. And I'll be honest, I started this monthly metal challenge, and I thought it felt a little gimmicky a little bit to me. Like, this is something I want to try to do and hopefully gain some listeners to do. And as I've done it, I'm just thrilled to death with it. It's being so intentional about my routine and these mindfulness tactics and this well-being tactics. I'm going to keep going on them. It's going to be what I continue to do. And as a result, I don't think that I believe the connection is there. Since I've seen a lot of growth in my business and in my podcast, I'm making more connections. I'm getting better work out there. I'm getting some more contracts with schools that I'm doing, and some clients, and getting a lot more podcast guests. And I've already got podcasts recorded almost through June. The work I'm getting done is, I think, a direct result of me doing this work and doing this intentional well-being tactics, and I'm not going to stop them. In fact, I'm going to continue on, and I'm going to add another well-being tactic and see how that goes, and see if I can add that to it. So that is where we're at I'm on to April, and I know that this is coming out a couple weeks into April, but I'm already starting it. I'm doing it now. Been doing it for a little bit now. But the plan for April is I'm going to do a little bit of what I call a digital detox. What that means, I'm going to talk about exactly what my plan is, but I want to try and get away from my phone a little bit more. I want to get away from social media a little bit more. Still use them, obviously, have to. I use my social media a lot for my business, but I needed to do a little bit of a digital detox and step away from it a little bit. And being me, again, I told you these are always science-based. I think that we kind of know that our phones, social media, everybody will tell you that, okay, they're part of a problem. They're a problem for us. They're a problem for our young people. They're a problem. But I like to go a little bit further and give some studies and some things that I found to kind of prove that. So a couple studies I found. One, American Journal of Preventive Medicine talked about the use of phones and social media, and they said that they had a study that showed that higher social media was associated with increased feelings of social isolation and anxiety. That's really interesting because people think that they jump on social media. We got the word social, like you're trying to be social, but it's actually creating feelings of social isolation, which is really interesting. And that, of course, leads to the anxiety. That's no good for anybody. Another study talked about how it affects sleep. And I think we know this one as well. And the research showed that increased screen time, particularly before bed, and some of that's that blue light idea, but it's correlated with poor sleep and poor sleep duration. Sleep is a huge factor in our mental health. And, so if we're doing something that limits our sleep quality and sleep duration, that's no good. Another study talked about, this one's really interesting. This is one I really want to focus on, was how it indicates that multitasking with digital devices. So you're going from one computer to another screen, to a phone, to a tablet, and you got all these things going on. Anytime that you're doing these things and multitasking, it actually decreases focus and cognitive performance. And it suggests that reducing device use actually improves productivity. That one's a huge one for me. I really like reading that one. And then another one is talking about mindfulness and how there's a study from the Journal of Educational Technology Systems that says the study discusses how constant smartphone usage can distract individuals from being present in their actions and their interactions and their experiences. So we're not in the world that we're around, we're in our phones, right? And this emphasizes that it reduces our mindfulness. We are not, there's an old expression about mindfulness that said, be where your feet are, and how important that is. When you're in your phone, you are not where your feet are. So that's just a short list of some studies. So we're talking about the benefits of doing a little bit of digital detox is less social anxiety and isolation, better sleep, duration and quality, increased focus and cognitive performance, and more mindfulness. Beautiful. All things that we should all want for ourselves. Are going to help us. Again, what I'm trying to do on these emotional well-being tactics is it's not about one specific goal, but focusing on my emotional well-being is going to help me reach every other goal that I have. Better sleep, more focus, more cognitive performance. That's going to make me a better podcast host. That's going to make me a better coach. That's going to make me a better writer. That's going to make me a better husband. That's going to be a better parent. All these things, right? So all these big goals that I have for me are benefited by all these little things that I'm going to try to do. And I say little things, but they end up being big things. And then also, I talked about my faith, and I've talked about my faith on this podcast and how that was my focus in February. And I got thinking about, well, what do you think, what's the biblical perspective on being in my phone all the time? And I started trying to think, okay, is it like, I mean, is it too much to say it's about, having an idol, right, in that cell phone? And I don't think cell phones or computers or anything are inherently bad, but there's a verse from Colossians 3:5 that really kind of brings it home, and it says, "Put to death, therefore, what is earthly in you: sexual immorality, impurity, passion, evil desire, and covetousness, which is idolatry." Well, we just described a lot of what's on social media. So, a lot of covetousness, a lot of sexual immorality, a lot of impurity, a lot of passion, a lot of evil desire. All of those things are in social media, and I use social media for my business. It's just a tool for that, but it's about limiting it, right, and getting away from those things on social media. So, if that means I start to limit those things because of some digital detox, then so be it. So, just a whole huge list of reasons why I should start doing this digital detox, and what that looks like in my life, how I'm going to do it, because I still need my phone. I still want to use my phone. I still need social media, but how do I do the detox? How do I remove some of the things, get the benefits I want, and still, grow my business, connect with people, and do things. And that's kind of where I was at, and try to figure out, how do I do this? And then, if you've been paying attention to the Monthly Mettle Challenge, I always bring in a coach, a certified coach, to come and help me out and lead me on a path and give me some clarity on where I want to go. And my coach today, a Lark Song coach, great guy. I actually went through the program with Greg. Great guy, great coach. You're going to see on this. His name is Greg Fiebig. Great coach. He's going to help me around this. So pay attention. Notice the coaching. We didn't set up anything ahead. I just said, hey, I'm going to talk about my plan for digital detox. Can you help me around that? And he said, absolutely. That's how coaching works. As long as we have a goal, somewhere we want to be, a good coach will lead you there. So pay attention in this coaching session, this unedited, real coaching session. Coaches, do you dream of guiding mentally tough athletes towards a championship? Kids that are resilient, persistent, and unshaken by setbacks. Well, in today's world, those athletes aren't born. They have to be developed. Many athletes face significant challenges and risk burnout. So how do we foster that mental toughness without overwhelming them? Well, introducing the Ember to Inferno program, Building Mentally Tough Athletes. This series is designed specifically for coaches, offering a deep dive into your own journey of mental toughness and equipping you with practical tools to build confidence and belief in your athletes. Rather than just simply adding more adversity to their life, we focus on creating a strong foundation for mental resilience. You'll learn how to transform a spark of motivation into a blazing fire of toughness, using techniques that address challenges like social media pressures, athletic stress, and trauma. Don't just wish for mentally tough athletes, build them. Join the Ember to Inferno program today and ignite the potential in your athletes. For more information, contact me, Coach Thomann, at Mental Mettle Coaching. How you doing, Greg?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing, Matt?
I'm doing well. I appreciate you coming on. It's you and I went through the Lark Song certification together, so we've been friends for a while now, and I appreciate you lending your coaching expertise to coach me here. I appreciate it.
Happy to do that. You got your PCC as well, don't you?
Yeah, I did recently.
Yeah.
So
I got
yeah.
my ACC, but I'm just too lazy to go any further.
Hey, you'll do well. It was good. It's worth to get it, and I think it's the same test. You just have to have more hours. So it's
Yeah,
it's
that's
it's all right.
surprise me.
Yeah, it's good though. It's good. I appreciate you bringing that up. It was it was a fair amount of work to get there, so it was good.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So, well, I appreciate you coming on, and hopefully we can have a good coaching session here.
Sounds great. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
So, is it okay if I coach you?
I'm all yours, man.
Okay. It's important to me, and I know it is to you, to have some sort of designed alliance. It seems like we've built that in the past going through the program, but is there anything about the assumptions or the agreements or safety needs that you have?
No, I think I'm an open book here, and I'm all good to go. Especially knowing you like I can, like I do. No worries here. We can just roll into it.
All right. Sounds great. So, what's on your mind today? Do you have an agenda for our meeting?
I do. So as part of my podcast, I've been doing a different well-being tactic every month. I talked to you a little bit about that, and it's been going really well. Some good coaching around that. Uh, Today, I want to talk about April's topic, which is going to be something I'm struggling with that I know that is better, that's good for me mentally to do, but it's getting away from this. So I need to do a little. I know I need to do a little digital detox and figuring out what that's going to look like and how it's gonna work. But I know that it's something that I really need to do is to get off my phone a little bit more.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about your current reality related to your phone. You hinted at it.
So it's interesting, but I think that there's this. I as you follow me enough on social media, I post a fair amount, and it's part of my business, and it's part of what I do. So I think I use that as an excuse, or like, oh, I can't do this. I have to be on my phone. I'm doing this. Well, me posting something should have nothing to do with me scrolling through Instagram or TikTok for 30 minutes when I ought to be working.
Oh, okay.
Right. So the reality is, yes, I need it, but it's not I need it for a tool,
Okay.
but I'm not using it for a tool past, yeah.
Okay. What is it instead of a tool?
It's a hindrance. So it gets me from doing things, getting things done. You know what's funny? I just had this. I just had this image when I used the word tool. I can remember like my brother and I being kids, and we're supposed to be like hoeing, like in the field, but chopping corn out of beans, and like
Yeah.
growing up on a farm and do all this. And we had a tool. We got this hoe that we're supposed to be doing things, and then but we have to have it, but then my dad will look back and we're over there doing lightsaber fights with and it's kind of feels like that, right? Like I got something that I'm supposed to use as a tool, and it's like this is not what it was for.
Okay. I like that's a nice analogy,
Yeah,
because even a Jedi will set that sword aside every now and then.
yeah. Well, you shouldn't pull it out until you use it, need it, right?
Okay. So I see where you're at. Tell me a little bit where you'd like to be.
Well, it's not so much. This month in March, I did fasting, which is about. It, but my idea was it's not about giving something up; it's about what I'm gaining, and I feel like this is going to be the same kind of an idea. It's like it's not so much that I need to get rid of the being on social media and strolling. Is I got things I need to get done, and things. It's not that I need to get done; that I want to get done, and this is keeping
Okay.
me from doing it.
Okay. So where would you like to be by the end of this session?
I'd like I'd like to be excited about getting those things done, and I want to have a plan, some sort of time frame, or like concrete plan on what I plan to do, how I want to use this tool, and how I not want to misuse the tool.
Uh, if you looked at your tool the way you looked at food, through your fasting month. What can you learn from that?
I think that you can. I mean, I'm still eating. I'm still enjoying food. I
Yeah,
like food. I
yeah,
like cooking. I like enjoy, but I can still enjoy that for a part of the day, not all of the time. Not to be like constantly eating or cooking or like this is I don't have to constantly have the phone on me.
okay.
Yeah.
So it, that sounds to me like you've made a choice with regard to food.
Yeah, it did. It was like and that's through a coaching session I did with Aubrey. It was the same idea. It's like you have to make this choice that this is what I want to do. But then you also we can make choices as we sit here, right? But I got to have the motivation for why I want to do that.
Okay. So why would you want to do it?
I I I have a lot of things I want to accomplish with my business, my work, things like that. And in the back of my mind, I know that it's helping me or it's keeping me from accomplishing those things.
Okay. So you mentioned something before about giving up, and you looked at it more as like picking up something new. What would something new be that you could pick up that would motivate you or draw you away from that tool?
Hmm. I, again, it's getting the time back, right? Like it is time is we never have enough time, and that's what the phone and the social media and those things that's what it pulls away from us. Like every time I look, every you get those. I'm appalled. I'm always appalled at when I look at my screen time. Right? I'm like, there's no way I was on my. I could not have been on my phone that much. And you look at it and you're like, that is so much time I could have gotten things done.
Okay. Uh, so how serious are you about this?
I I want to be more. I want to be more serious about it. Like I'll be honest. Like it's. I think. Yeah. I mean. I need to be a little bit more serious about it. But it's like I said. I have two things that roll in my head that kind of stop it, and one is thinking, "Oh, it's a tool that I need. I need this to be able to get things done." People can like I get texts, I get calls from my business. I need to like I need I tell myself that I have to be connected to it because of that. And the other one is, oh, you shouldn't. Sometimes it's a little bit of mindfulness to be able to you need a break sometimes. But both of those keep me from being more serious about like breaking a habit.
Okay. This tool sounds like it's attached to your hip.
I feel like it's weird how it got that way, right? Like I'm old enough to know I'm old enough to remember what it's not like having a phone.
Yeah.
And
But
now it's like but Greg, how many times a day or a week do we go, "Hey, where's my phone? Oh my gosh, where's my phone?" You almost get anxiety of like I don't know where my phone is, and I hate that.
there's actually some research that suggests
Oh,
just that,
I I feel it's real. It's like people. How often are you looking? Think about it. How often are we going? Hey, where's my phone? Can you call my phone? I need my phone. Why do you need your phone? Why do I need it? And that bothers me.
Uh, what other tools do you have that you eat with, sleep with, dare I say, go to the toilet with? Uh, are there any other tools like that?
I mean, just the clothes I wear. That's about it.
Do you carry a hammer around with you all day?
No, that's the thing, right? That's a great point. It's yeah.
Yeah. So I want to try and make draw a little bit of an analogy here. You seem to be obsessed with this tool.
I don't I don't feel like it's just me, but yeah, I agree.
You're right. Um,
Yeah.
so I would also, would it be fair to say that before March, for example, you might have been obsessed with food?
Oh, absolutely.
Ah,
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's a big thing for me. It's like, yeah, what do I want for breakfast? And it's a big deal. Like I don't just, I've never been a, I've never been a food is just for fuel guy. I like
okay.
cooking. I like, oh, what do we have? It's a big deal to me. So yeah,
And
getting out of that habit is hard.
what did you do to move from food obsession to using food for your well-being?
Yeah. Um, I think that I did a coaching session with Aubrey,
Okay.
and then I just told myself I have to do this for a short period of time. And now, I mean, by the end of March, I do the 16-8 every day. I use most days I don't eat till 1 o'clock, and it does not phase me whatsoever. Like it's just my habit. I get up and have coffee and that's it.
Okay.
And it's, so I think that the answer to your question is that I had to just make myself do it for a little bit and see the benefits, and then it was no big deal.
Okay. Uh, what would it take to make you set that tool aside X number of hours a day for one day? Let's not go cold turkey withdrawal here.
I think that everything that I do on my phone, that I think I need to do on my phone, can be done on my computer here and in a more work like setting in my office,
Do
right?
you have things
So
like Twitter and Instagram and Facebook on your
I, they're
computer?
on there, but I don't ever find myself like, I'll use Facebook and Twitter and stuff like this on my computer to post stuff. It's very, I don't know. There's something about the phone itself. I don't find myself just scrolling through stuff on my computer, but like I do on my phone. So it's almost like if I just said, hey, when I wake up in the morning and I work up however many hours I work, that the phone just needs to stay by my bedside.
Oh,
And I'll check at lunch, right? For calls, for I'll be it, nobody needs me that bad,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like my kids are grown. Nobody's like, there's not going to be that big, and they can email me or something like that. Like it's fine.
So what do you use your phone for specifically? Because I hear you saying all kinds of things you can do with your computer. Why do you need this thing?
It's you don't, right? I think that's the problem. I think
I heard
it's
you say communication, so text and phone calls.
yeah.
Um,
I wish, you know what I wish? I wish I had an old school landline. You know what I mean? Back in the day where it was like,
yeah.
oh, it's just right. If somebody, but no, I don't even have a landline anymore. So it's like,
Do you really wish that?
I kind of, because then I could be like, oh, they would, like, if somebody needed me, they'd have a number to call me.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah.
what did you do when you had a landline when you couldn't answer?
You just ignored it.
Okay.
That's what's so weird. You and I are old enough. It was like, I can remember sitting down for dinner and we would be having dinner and the phone would ring and nobody would go get it.
No.
You wouldn't go answer the phone because it
Oh
was dinner
boy.
time. It was dinner. No, well, like whoever it is, it's not that important. They'll call back, or you get an answering machine back in the day. But I could, and now it's not like that.
Um, how would it feel to use that tool as an answering machine rather than a phone?
You know what? That'd be nice, right? It
Yeah.
would. Like I have to go physically check it, right? Like go, like you didn't walk around with an answering machine. It
Yeah.
was just like you might go check, like treat it kind of like that. It's like, oh, at noon, maybe I'll go check my answering machine.
Yeah. Yeah. Or at the end of
Nothing.
the
No,
day when you get off work. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I'm a coach, and I help people, and I do a lot of stuff, but I'm also not averting nuclear war either. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere.
Yeah. And you said something earlier that I think is key too. If it's important enough, they'll call back.
They will.
Yeah.
Or they'll leave a message, right? Or text me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So talk me through using this as an answering machine for the rest of today.
Oh, well, first of all, it's sitting right here. Right.
Yeah.
And so I will get rolling. I will get rolling writing my book or doing something like that. And I'll hear it buzz. And then I'll check a text. 30 minutes later, I'm watching stuff on TikTok. I'm like, why do so I think that the answer to that is it needs to be just leave it on the charger.
Yeah. Good. So is that something you can do?
Oh, absolutely. I think I'll have to monitor. I'm like, if let's hope I don't. I mean, my bedroom's all upstairs, and my office in the basement. So hopefully there there's enough proximity difference that I don't just start walking back and forth every 10 minutes.
Disincentive.
Yeah.
Uh,
But I don't think that's gonna be the case. I think that because none of it's on purpose. Like, I don't think that I ever pick up my phone and be like, oh, I'm rolling, I'm working. I need to pick up my phone and scroll through TikTok for 30 minutes or Instagram. I never do that. It just happens.
how do you manage your time throughout the day when it comes to writing your book and coaching people?
So for coaching people, that is, they schedule the times. So I can't
Okay.
control that. For reading, most of my clients and work that's in the evenings,
Yeah.
some in the afternoon. So the mornings are mine to write, to podcast, to do, clerical stuff on my business. And I that's a time, Monday or mornings, that I think that more than any other time, that's whenever I want that time back. If I could just get all that time, I would get so much more done.
Uh, you said you don't pick up food to eat until 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Could you leave the phone?
Yeah. I feel like I could. I don't know. I don't need to.
I don't want to get drastic with you because I know that you have the ability to do this. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a matter of, okay, this is a complex problem. I'm going to solve it this way. And I'm going to choose to leave my phone up in my bedroom. Uh, the reason I said I don't want to get crazy on you is because there was a point in time where there were financial advisors that would tell you to freeze your credit card in a block of ice that would keep
Yeah.
you from using it.
Well, they have all kinds of. I saw a device the other day that, like, you could put your phone in this device and you lock it for 5 hours, and I'm
Yes.
like, oh, come on, I don't need, like, it made me mad to think that I thought about it, like, is that what I need? And then I'm like, no, I don't need to freeze my phone in a block of ice, Greg. Like, I have to be better than that.
Well, you are better than that. You
I
are.
know, I
And you've
know.
proven that with the shift around food. This food was a tool for you, or it, I don't want to use that. Uh, you're using food more for what food is for.
Yeah, yeah.
How about using the phone for what the phone's for?
Yeah, it's such I like the word that's coming up to me with is efficiency, and
Yep.
using things efficiently, and that if I'm more efficient with different things, then that's more time I have back to get things done, and I like getting things done.
Okay.
I feel better when I get things done.
Yeah. I see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just even talking about it is like I can do this.
Yeah, it's I'm kind of, yeah, I want to do this.
So what's your plan?
I think that's it. I think it's going to I got a charger. I charge it by my bed, and that's where it stays. I don't need it if I, you know, it's not a problem when I leave the house and do it. It's my problem is when I'm sitting here at my, I mean, I'm still going to use my phone some. So,
Yeah.
if you see me sometime in April and they'll be like, well, you shouldn't be on your phone. Like it's the problem is when I'm sitting here trying to get things done in my office. That's when I want it to go. So I think that if I can do that, I'm going to feel like I made a ton of progress. So it's just going to sit. It's just going to sit up. I mean, it's a floor away. If I ever need it, I'll just go check it. Right.
Okay. What can I do to hold you accountable for that?
Just check in with me. You know what you ought to do is you need to text, like you need to
What are you doing on your phone?
just random. You need to, like, in April, just randomly like text me in the morning at some point, and because it'll show up. If it shows up red, even if I don't reply, if it shows red, you're gonna be like, okay, he's on his phone, right? That's yeah.
I'm going to do that for you.
I would appreciate it.
I'm going to give you a homework assignment first, though.
Okay.
And it will take you maybe 5 minutes to do it.
Okay.
Are you willing to try this?
I'm in.
As soon as we step off this Zoom call or this coaching session, I want you to walk your phone to your bedroom. Oh,
it's so
seeing something in you.
It's so funny. The second you say that, my mind started going, well, I needed to do this. I was going to do that. Like, I was like, I wasn't really ready to start today. And it's like, I will do it. I 100% will do it. But it just immediately made me think, okay, but do I really need to, like, it's weird. It's going to be harder than I thought.
Probably the same way with food.
It is. It's like, yeah, I think I'll try it. I think I'm gonna do it. Yeah.
I made an offer. You could make a counter offer, or we could negotiate somewhere here.
No, I'm gonna take you up on it. I like a challenge. You called me out, and I appreciate that. So I'm gonna do that.
All right, great. Well, is there anything else we need to?
No, Greg, that's really good. I've really enjoyed connecting with you. It's fun. I love it when you coach me. It's fantastic. It's fun. It's entertaining. So I enjoy it.
I love to entertain people.
I know you do. It's your thing. I know it's your thing. So I appreciate it. It's really good. Yeah, I appreciate that. It's good.
Okay. So we're all clear?
All right. We're all good. I appreciate it, Greg.
What's the one thing you're going to take away from?
I think that I like the idea of seeing it as a tool. Honestly, when you said you don't walk around with a hammer, it's right. It's if I'm going to use it as a tool, use it as a tool. It's got a spot. It's like it's got its spot in the toolbox, and it just, like, pull it out when you need it, and don't otherwise. So that's a big takeaway for me.
Yeah, I love the movement from where we started to where we're at right
I
now.
do too.
Encouraged.
I do too. Yeah. So it's good. Well, all right.
See
You too. Thanks, Greg. I sure appreciate it. After battling cancer and recovering from a stroke, I decided I wanted to change careers. I knew I wanted to help others thrive while living a life that aligned with my values. I realized that flourishing in life is a choice, and I wanted to help others do that through courageous actions. And luckily, I found Lark's Song and became a certified coach. From certified professional coach training to cutting-edge well-being education and impactful workshops and community partnerships, Lark's Song programs equip you with the skills and confidence to make a real difference in your life, your community, and beyond. But Lark's Song isn't merely about education, and it isn't about changing careers necessarily. It's about transformation. It's about turning dreams into reality. Are you ready to accelerate your journey to a more fulfilled and flourishing life? Visit larksong.com today to learn more. A better future starts today. I love coaching. Obviously, that's what I do for a profession, so it shouldn't surprise you that I love coaching. I love coaching athletes. I love coaching coaches. I love coaching people. I love coaching anybody I coach. I just, like, whenever I coach somebody, I feel really good. But I also feel really good when I get coached. I love being coached. It just gives you so much clarity, so much insight into even a topic you think you have figured out, but you're like, just a little bit stuck and you're like, I know I want to do this, but I don't know how to do it. And Greg did a great job of helping me get a lot of clarity and a lot of insight around this digital detox that I have. And the biggest thing that I took from it is Greg's idea of helping me realize that my phone is a tool and I need to use it like a tool. It is not something that I need in my hip. It is not something I need in my pocket all day long. It's not something that I should be carrying around, looking at me as I'm walking, as I'm doing anything. I don't need that. All right. If I could see my phone and even the extension of my phone, which would be the social media, if I could see that as a tool, because I'll be honest, I need the social media as a tool for my business. It's a big part of my business, getting my message out there, doing all those things. And I'm going to continue to do that, but I want to see that as a tool, right? So I don't have to see it as something I have to do, because how often do I pick up my phone because it's right here on my desk when it was, it's not now, but when it's on my desk, and think I needed to check something, think I needed it for a tool use, and maybe check it, maybe not. But next thing you know, it's 15 minutes wasted. And then I've lost all that productivity. I've lost that time, and it's not helping me. I think it's helping me. I think, oh, I need to, but I'm not getting the benefits that I've talked about. I'm not getting that cognitive focus. I'm not, it's causing actually more anxiety. There's a lot of covetousness there. Things I wish I had. It all comes with picking up the phone, looking up the social media, right? So I can do the social media thing when I need to as a tool. And that's going to take a little bit of gut check time and make sure that I'm doing that. But I think it's going to really help if I do some things to limit that. And the way I'm going to limit it is every day, get up, check my phone, but then it's going on the charger all morning. I'm going to go downstairs. I work in my office. I'm going to write, do the podcast. If I had any calls, do any of these things, but that phone is not going to be right here. It's going to stay up on the charger during the day. If I go back up around lunchtime to take my break, to go out before I work out, I can check on it. Check it to see if anybody's texted. And that happens. I get people texting me different things, but I can do that then. And I can check the social media for a minute if I want to. I can do those things for a little bit, but then put it right back, go about my day, and then go back after my day is done. But I leave it there when I'm doing some coaching in the afternoons, the evenings, things like that. I'll go back and check my phone a little bit, maybe after dinner, sit down, look at social media a little bit, check some things, see what things going on. But then I'm also going to plan to turn it off at 9:00 so that I get some time not on it before I go to bed, which should help my sleep. This is going to take an intentional change, but that's my plan. I want to do it. I'm excited about getting even more focus, any more cognition, and just continuing to grow my business and help it lean into the other three things that I'm already starting to do. It's going to fit right in there. And honestly, as I started to add a little bit more time reading, a little bit more time praying, writing down the gratitudes, those things take a little bit of time. And I do think that limiting my phone use, it's going to help me gain some of that time back. So that's my goal. If you pay attention, you've been watching the Monthly Mettle podcast or the Monthly Mettle Challenge on the podcast every day or every month. You notice that I always ask my beautiful, gorgeous wife, Dana, to join in with me. And this month is no exception. So we're going to jump in and see what Dana's plan is for the Monthly Mettle Challenge. So here we go. Dana's Mettle in Minutes. Hi, Dana.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. So we're gonna do the Dana's Mettle in Minutes here, but let's do So amazingly we're a fourth of the way through the year.
Oof.
Right?
We are.
Right? We're through March.
We are.
So that means I'd like to stop and do a little rundown of what you've done each month, and the goods, the bads, the uglies. What you got?
Okay. So I'm continuing with the gratitude from January and the daily devotional from February. So those were two practices that have stuck with me that I really enjoy. Continue to do it in the morning. I really like how I just start out my day. Doing those two wasn't so dedicated issue in March. So for me, the intermittent fasting was a challenge and not something I enjoyed. But as I got into it, started thinking about the pros and the cons, what I liked, what I didn't like, it has allowed me to come up with a plan. So I know some like nutrition, and I guess eating habits that have worked for me in the past that I'm starting to put into place. So it doesn't include intermittent fasting, a little bit more focus on getting in my proteins. But I think it was good to try it and then good to say, hey, what works? So
Yeah, no, it's
I'm
good.
gonna make a change.
It's kind of the why I started this whole thing, and it was like, I don't know what's going to work, what's not,
Yeah.
or if you're going to get the benefits of it that you think, or that they say that you get out of it.
Right.
And like, if it had worked for you and you would have enjoyed it and you'd like noticed it, I don't think don't necessarily think it was so much of a willpower thing, because it was like, well, maybe it was. I don't know. not
the alcohol part,
well, that's
for
fair.
willpower.
Yeah,
I maybe had a few beverages. So.
No, that's fair.
But it was good. It was a good exercise to go through. I liked being intentional about it, and then not reverting back to just eating whatever whenever, but saying, okay, I'm not really enjoying this. I don't feel great. I'm not feeling the same the benefits you were feeling. So it made me pause and say, when have I felt really good?
Okay.
When did my body feel properly nourished and energized and sustained me through workouts? And so I've gone back to, here's 3 different times where I remember this, and here's what I was doing from an eating perspective. So that's what I'm putting in place.
Then you gain something from it. So that's good.
I did.
So let's talk about April.
Yes.
And we're doing what I'm calling a digital detox. And so this one is interesting because so far I've done Dana's Mettle in minutes, because this is like, you have less time to do things, and we're hoping that you can squeeze stuff in. This one's a little bit different in the sense that it's not, I don't know, it's almost like I'm seeing it as a way to gain some time back, maybe. So I don't know what your plan is. So tell me on this digital detox, what Dana's version is.
Okay. So I'm going to limit my social media time. I'm not on it a ton anyway, but maybe quickly scan first thing in the morning and maybe one other time of an evening. I don't scroll a lot, but on occasion I'll find myself just picking up and scrolling through, and I want to stop that. So I'm not necessarily going to say I'm going to put my phone away. I do appreciate having my phone close in case like you or the kids text, or occasionally I will use texting for work purposes. So I won't necessarily put my phone like in the other room or lock it away when I'm working, but I'm not going to, if I check, it'll be a quick glance. It's not going to be to get on any sort of social media, but a couple times a day. And then
The coach in me goes, I like in theory what you're doing. How are you going to know at the end of the day you did a good job or you didn't do a good job?
Well,
since you're not like saying like, oh, I'm not gonna go take my phone, shut it off, put it up. Like, how are you gonna know at the end of the day, oh yeah, I did what I wanted, or not?
Fair. At the end of the day, maybe you can hold me accountable, and at the end of the day, kind of say, hey, how do you think you did from in terms of your screen time, right? Your time on social media. I guess of an evening, if we're watching TV and stuff and you see me on my phone, you can be like, what are you doing?
Just karate chop it.
You can kind of call me out, but I think I'll be fine with it because I don't really care if I'm looking at Facebook or not. I don't really care if I'm on TikTok or not. So So I was thinking about that because I'm like, I
Because that's not much of a
nowadays
change
really
for you.
much of a
Yeah,
change.
yeah.
So I'm also gonna say like it's a detox from like Amazon, and not just Amazon, but other purchases, like non-essential purchases. Like, nope, not in April.
Okay.
So
And that,
it's just again, because I think you do get sucked into commercials or ads or videos, and you're like, oh, I want to try that, and like, no, all of that, all of that's gone. Not April.
so we'll know if you did a good job or not by whether or
Our
not
credit card bill.
well, no, I was going to say whether or not the UPS guy shows up.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's fair.
That'll be a good
Yeah,
one.
and you do know, like, we get weekly reports on our time on our phone.
That's fair too.
That should also go down.
Well, there you go. You should. But do you log that now?
Well, no, but it does a week over week comparison.
That's fair.
It'll say the time spent on your phone is down, so I can, up or down.
Ooh,
And
this
so
makes me. We should on. It usually comes out on Sunday.
It does.
So the first Sunday we'll see who will make a little competition.
Now the only thing is,
come on.
I just like you, I use my phone for work.
I do too.
Right, so I guess we should go in and see if we can see like social media apps.
We'll do that.
Specifically.
There you go. You can.
I'm winning.
We'll do that.
I didn't win March. I'll win April.
Okay, I like that. It's a deal. We'll do that. So, as always, I appreciate you doing it, and just having somebody to do this stuff with me is helpful. Not as much this last month, but
when I had a drink,
I know.
Didn't.
It's okay. Nobody's perfect. You're as close as I'm gonna get. So we will take that, and I sure appreciate it. And yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
Mm-hmm. What I loved about Dana's is hers wasn't exactly like mine. She's got some things. She's being intentional about where her focus goes and where her time, and when we talk about Amazon, where her money goes. And those are things that she's like, I needed to get away from these things and realize I don't need these things. I love that she doesn't do it exactly like I do, but she's doing it what she needs, which is really, that's our goal. And I think that's, I'm getting the coaching to find what I need and the way I need to look at things and then apply it to my life in a very intentional, but also very specific and unique way. Dana's doing that as well. So I think that's my challenge to you is on the Monthly Mettle Challenge. What have you tried? What have you leaned into? I've gotten a couple friends talk to me about this last month about the fasting, and they're trying it and working on it and trying to apply that, which is I love that people are reaching out to me and saying, I'm trying this, I'm checking it out. So this digital detox, when we're talking about phones, social media, I would like you to at least do a little recognition in your life and go, how would my life be different if I cut out my phone a little bit, cut out the social media a little bit? How would it look different? How would it help me? Start looking at what it's gaining you and look at it from that perspective and see how it can help you, and start figuring out what's your plan. How do you want to add that or remove that phone or that social media from your life, and be very intentional. I know that it's already April, so you got a couple weeks left in April, but I think that's a really good time frame to do it. Like make a plan and stick to it for a couple weeks, or do more, do it for another month, but be intentional about changing the way you do things. And this April, I'm challenging you to do it from a digital detox perspective. So hopefully I find time to do that. And I always enjoy people reaching out to me, let me know they're doing it. I love the positive feedback that I'm helping you, and I appreciate that. I appreciate you all for listening, for liking, sharing, subscribing, all these things. I'm starting to see some growth in the podcast, and I know it's because you guys are sharing this, talking about it, putting it out there for others, and I really appreciate it. I have got, speaking of the podcast, I have unbelievable shows coming up. I've gotten some really good coaches, good athletes, good people coming on, and I'm really excited about it. Some really good stuff. So continue to like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you next time. This has been the Mental Mettle Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Matt Thomann, and always remember to forge your mettle. Thanks for listening to the Mental Mettle Podcast. Don't forget to tune in every week for more insights and strategies to help you forge mental toughness and resilience. This podcast is brought to you by Mental Mettle Coaching, where we are driven by a passion for sharing knowledge and experience that empowers others to play, live, and grow with confidence. Our mission is to instill a resilient and spirited mindset in our clients, enabling them to confidently face adversity and actively seek new challenges for personal growth. At Mental Mettle Coaching, we offer individual coaching, group coaching, and professional development for schools and businesses. Whether you're an athlete, educator, or professional, we're here to help you unlock your potential and thrive in every area of life. Until next time, keep growing, stay resilient, and always remember to forge your mettle.